Hello everybody, welcome back to Ethereal Enigma. It's been like a few weeks since I last played the first one, so I don't really know where I left off, but I do remember that someone pointed out that Snap is actually just a side character and not an actual like option. She was actually Aunt Emiko, the aunt at the very beginning. I don't know how I didn't notice it, but apparently that's her. And you can't romance her in any way. That sucks, but I mean, we'll keep on keeping on, because I haven't met all the heroines yet, and I'm quite curious to see who the next are. I know there was that the black-haired chick, right? Was there a black-haired chick? I really don't know, because I'm still very early on, and I really gotta continue. All right. Most of the students have already arrived and are grouped in bunches. We find a section in the back of the room with 3 open desks and take a seat. Oh, there she is. To my surprise, the same raven-hairy girl enters the room. She sits in the nearest open seat, which happens to be next to Kosei. I catch Kosei and Mina's attention. Look, it's her, the girl I was talking about. Kosei's eyes widen and lets out a low, appreciative breath.
I can see why you were trying to point her out to us.
I guess she wasn't imaginary after all.
Suddenly, the girl looks in our direction. Both Kosei and Mina immediately look away. Assert my dominance. You look me in the eyes, girl. It's too late. She knows we've been stirring now. The best way to handle it is to double down and stand my decision. Unashamed, I'll lock gazes with her. We continue to stare at each other in impromptu contest. Then she leans slightly away as if she's trying to look behind me. Oh. Finally, she looks back towards the front of the room. Wait, so she was actually looking behind me. I shake my head. What am I thinking? Of course she wasn't. That's just her playing hard to get. Of course! You know, of course. That's what it is. Soon the teacher entered the classroom and motions us to take our seats. Chairs scrape across the floor as the students settle in.
Good morning, everyone. I am Miss Sato, and I will be your homeroom teacher for this year. I'm looking forward to teaching everyone.
Alright.
Let's get started with attendance.
Roll call goes smoothly as everyone who is on the list is present. Miss Sato introduces the first subject, officially starting our first class of the day. Sorry if I feel a bit sick. I've been coughing and having a cold recently, but hopefully it's not too much. Most of the time is spent going over the syllabus and the teacher expectations, which isn't a surprise. The first few days are normally like this. Tomorrow is when we'll dive into actual content. Finally, Miss Sato concludes the lesson. We have a few minutes before the we have a few minutes break. That sounds weird. Before the next class starts, and everyone is taking full advantage. The groups have reformed, but the whispers shaking around the room are all about the dark-haired girl. Why? She's just a normal girl. I overhear 2 students talking beside me.
Hey, you see that girl over there? That's Kira Igarashi.
The second student's eyes widen.
Igarashi? Seriously? How do you know?
How do you not know? I heard she moved here over the summer.
I feel like it's the same person.
You don't say.
He glances back over at Kira, his renewed interest evident in his tone. The first student laughs, cutting his friend on the ear.
Don't think too much about it. As if she'd be interested in you.
She's single, isn't she? She could be.
I mean, she could be not. I tune them out as a few of the more outgoing girls stop by Kira's desk to introduce themselves. Jesus, I'm bad at reading today. She politely receives them, but seems uninterested in furthering the conversation. They quickly depart, and Kira keeps to herself, doodling in a notebook. The whispers only intensify from her aloofness. Kosei hops out of his seat and sits on Minnie's desk. He gestures for me to come closer, so I do, leaning on his desk with him.
What do you think of her?
He gestures towards Kira. Mina glances curiously over her. I hope she's romanceable. I think she's interesting. There it is. She seems interesting. She's definitely different than all the other students here.
Yeah, she's really mysterious. Makes you want to get to know her better.
A little bit, maybe. I sneak another glance her way. She's all everyone is talking about.
Well, she is an Igarashi.
Do you think she is related to the tech conglomerate Igarashi? Everybody knows the Igarashi name and brand. Along with major companies like Sanseng, the software and electronics dominate the industry. He shrugs.
It's not exactly a common name. Have you ever met an Igarashi who wasn't related to them?
Never heard of that name in my life. He pauses, furrowing his
Or
brows.
any Igarashi for that matter.
He's not wrong. I never met an Igarashi before. I shoot another glance her way. Kira continues to be focused on her notebook. I wonder how she feels about all the attention. Kosei looks at Mina.
I'm kinda surprised you haven't already gone over to introduce yourself.
She already looks uncomfortable. Why would I pile even more attention on her?
Because she's a cute, single girl?
Okay. Mina raises a brow.
And that's relevant to me how?
It's relevant to every single guy in here.
Ah yes, because you're talking to a guy.
I'm not a guy.
Kosei gives Mina a once-over.
Could've fooled me.
Oh wow, how clever. How long were you waiting to use that one?
Thankfully, the next instructor entered the classroom before they could continue bickering. We all quiet down. Kosei and I return to our seats, and as so do the other students. Once we're all seated, the teacher begins the next lesson. I just want to know the other girls. I'll be honest. I think this is interesting, and I think a little bit long, but whatever. The midday bell chimes, announcing our lunch hour. Conversations break out across the room as students take out their meals and sit with their friends. Mina, Kosei, and I group our desks together. I open my bento and the delicious scent of udon fills the air. Kosei perks up.
Hey, that looks so good. Did your aunt make it?
Yep.
Your aunt is the best cook, I swear.
Oh boy. I bet she's the best. Sure. I scoot my bowl closer to him and Kosei takes a big bite. His eyes light up.
Oh man, it's so good.
I bet it is. He then glances at Mina's neatly prepared bento of yakisoba and vegetables.
That looks good too.
A smug smile spreads across Mina's face.
Do you want to try it?
I thought you'd never ask.
Kosei takes another big bite and sighs contentedly.
If I could eat like this every day, I'd be so
He's just leeching off of us.
Do you like it?
He reaches over to steal more food.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Why, thank you.
He just eats all of it. Kosei stares at Mina, his chopsticks still in midair.
Why are you thanking me?
Because I made this delicious lunch that you enjoy so much.
You made this?
Impossible!
Yeah?
She beams proudly at Kosei, as Kosei looks back and forth between the food and Mina.
But it's not just edible. It's tasty.
That's the point.
You tricked me.
What? You've been jebaited! How's it feel to be bamboozled by Mina?
A little queasy to be honest. Although that might be from the food.
You mean this food which was so amazing?
Mina and I both laugh as Kosei hangs his head.
Foiled by my own words.
Jesus, his fucking arm! That's not how arms work! I shake my head and dive back into my udon. Udon's pretty nice. I've tasted udon a couple times. Well, the ones you see in like those like fast packaging stuff, they're alright. After a small lull in the conversation, Kosei perks up again.
Oh, hey! Did I tell you guys I got a new job?
I really don't care.
Really? That's wonderful. Where is it?
He crosses his arms and
At the
grins.
new arcade.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know, right?
Yeah. He chuckles and leans back into his chair.
I'm finally saying goodbye to the simple life of a ramen shop assistant. Trust me, my new gig is incredible. The stuff I get to work with is top notch.
Like what? He must be talking about the games. I bet there's some really cool ones. I mean, if it doesn't have like DDR, I'm not interested. Mina lights up.
That's amazing. We're gonna have to visit you sometime.
You should.
I'm happy for you, man. Really. I really am.
Thanks.
I know Kosei wasn't thrilled at his old job at the ramen shop. I'm happy to see him moving on to something he'll enjoy.
How's it working at the bakery?
Gotta make that dough. I need to make that money somehow. I regret making that decision, I'll be honest.
It's better than just loafing
Oh
around.
god, that was a bad decision. I should have picked the other choice.
Yeah, we're
Really?
What?
You mean rolling in dough?
No, you know, like when you roll the dough.
No.
Whatever. Your puns were lame anyway.
You didn't even try. Jesus, she bolted out of there fast. Our conversation meanders to more trivial things, and before we know it, lunch is over. We put our stuff away and return to our desks and to their original position. After everyone has settled down, the tutor begins class. The rest of the day goes faster than I anticipated, and our first day of school is over. I sling my bat over my shoulder and follow Mina and Kosei out of the classroom.
Hey, do you guys want to hang out somewhere?
Sorry, I can't. I promised a friend we'd meet up after class. Don't have too much fun without me.
Don't worry, we will.
Ignoring his last comment, Mina walks away. Kosei looks over to me and shrugs.
Well, looks like it's just you and me today. Want to practice soccer in the quad?
I want to go home. It's been a while since the two of us last played a scrimmage. We initially bonded over soccer as Kosei had a natural talent for it. He was good enough to join the junior high team, but he never did. I'd be down for that. Let's go! I need to drink some water. Hold up. Jesus, my throat. I have a weird cold. Oof. Water. The two of us make our way down to the open field behind the school. It's empty except for the scattering of students milling about. There's a nice cool breeze, making it excellent weather to practice. Some of the grammars are a bit wrong, I'll be honest. Why is the sudden interest in soccer? Kosei picks up the soccer ball from a nearby rack.
Now that I've got my new job, I was thinking about joining the soccer club.
That's a great idea. It's too bad you couldn't join the team in junior high.
Yeah, I have the means now, but not the practice.
This new job must afford him more time for club activities. His old job was really demanding and took a lot of his schedule. And when he wasn't working, he was just babysitting his siblings. Kosei heads straight for a goal and positions himself in the middle, and tosses me the ball. I grin, catching it. Goalie was the position Kobe's always played. You ready?
Yeah, kick some at me.
I nod and stamp a fast kick towards the net. The ball goes flying, but Kosei blocks it with his chest. He flashes at me a cocky grin as he throws the ball back.
No challenge, just like I remember.
Oh boy. This time I aim the kick higher. He catches it easily with both hands and laughs.
Are you even trying?
Bruh. Determination flares through my veins. I feint a kick to one side of the net before sending it in the opposite direction. Kosei doesn't fall for my feint. He blocks my shot with his head, sending the ball sailing.
Haha, amateur trick. You can't fake me out that easily. And don't call me Kosei the Wall Nakahara for nothing.
Yeah, that's not really a good sounding title. Nobody calls you that.
Sure they do. Don't be hating because you never got a nickname.
Bruh. I grit my teeth as I collect the ball. This next shot will definitely score. Kosei squares up, ready for my kick. I line up a shot and aim for the far right corner of the goal. The ball soars in the air, reaching high towards the net. Like a flash of lightning, Kosei darts to the right. Leaping up, his outstretched hand bats the ball away.
Oh!
He cheers and breaks into a victory dance. I can just imagine him doing a Fortnite dance.
And the crowd goes wild!
Take a shot while he's distracted. Nah, I'm not that low. Maybe I am that low. Let's go. Fuck it. Scooping up to the forgotten ball, I kick it hard while Kosei is still celebrating. His eyes widen as he lunges, but it's too late. The ball flies straight into the net. Goal, you mother piece of shit! How's it feel? I'm doing the Fortnite dance now, mother... He crosses his arms.
Hey man, no fair!
I mean, that's what happens when you're too busy dancing during the play. Well, yeah, you know. He sighs and runs a hand towards his hair.
Fair enough.
Kosei kicks the ball back at me and we continue to practice. After a few hours, we make our way to the bleachers and sit down. Kosei takes a long drink from his water bottle.
Hey, thanks for practicing with me today.
No problem. For someone who's claiming to be out of practice, you still delivered on the field. Keep that up and you'll be a part of the club in no time. Maybe you could even try out as a starter afterwards. You're good enough to make it.
Thanks, man.
He claps my hand on my
I
shoulder.
really appreciate it. Seriously, don't hesitate to come to me if you need any help this year. We bros need to stick together, right?
Bros, the bro army. That was weird. I nod, a genuine smile lifting my face. For a moment, we just grin at each other until we realize we're staring into each other's eyes. Oh, is this something? Oh, this beautiful bromance. Time to go! You know, but I'm interested. Yeah, but I don't like Kosei. Time to go! Nope, that's enough feels for one day. I leap to my feet. I'm ready to go home. How about you? Kosei suddenly blinks.
Wow, I didn't realize how late it is.
I look around the waning light. We were so focused on practicing that we didn't notice the time fly by.
I've got to get home. I haven't even started my homework.
Bruh, same. Yeah, me too. Hey! After we both packed, Kosei waves and then walks off. I squint, watching the sun dip below the treetops. If I don't hurry, I'll lose the last rays of light. As I head off the field, I decide to take a different route home. Cutting through the shrine is supposed to be a shortcut through the neighborhoods. Given it's already so late in the day, I should try it. I make good time, and it's not long before I see the shrine. Jesus, my God. What's wrong with me today? The groundskeepers rhythmically sweep the gate, bowing to me as I pass through the place is surprisingly empty. Oh, what the fuck? Jesus. The place is surprisingly empty, with the exception of an elderly woman in front of the offering box. She turns around and a few notes of cash from out of her pocket. I'm not an asshole. Come on, man. To an old lady? Why is this even an option, dude? Why is this even an option? I'm returning the money. Scooping up the cash, I rush over to the old woman. Excuse me. I think you dropped this.
Oh, thank you, young man.
No problem. I'm just doing my job as a citizen of Earth. She gracefully accepts the money, returning it to her pocket.
Not everyone would have returned this to its rightful owner. Some may have kept it for themselves.
I wouldn't do that to an old woman. Come on. I can't explain why I did that. It was the right thing to do, yeah. I wouldn't do that. It was the right thing to do. She offers me a wrinkled smile.
You're a good man.
Thank you, but I did just what anyone would. Since it's now been taken up, I should be heading back. I won't continue to disturb you. Have a good night.
Wait! Don't be so hasty.
Uh-oh. She gives me a look. For some reason, a shiver runs down my spine.
The evening is young, and the ethereal energy dances among us. If you make an offering at the shrine tonight, your prayer may just be answered.
I'm down. Okay, thanks. Ethereal energy? That's not a thing. Besides, everyone comes to the shrine to pray hoping their wishes come true.
Astral continuum aligns. Your timing tonight is no mere coincidence. There may yet be a prophetic purpose for your arrival.
Yeah, is this woman okay? Well, this conversation took a turn for the strange. I'm not sure about all that. I'm just taking a shortcut to get home.
Ah, but you don't normally take this path, do you?
I pause. How does she know? Must be a lucky guess. My pause is enough to grant another crinkled grin.
Exactly. Feel the energy and look into the ether. Let not this opportunity go to waste.
A rustling sound distracts me as I look back towards the gate. A distorted howl follows. What was that? Another shiver runs down my spine. Was that ethereal nonsense real? After a moment, a small dog runs out. I let out the breath I've been holding. Of course not. When I turn back to the old woman, she's gone. Where'd she go? Scanning around me, I remain alone. Even the groundskeepers have disappeared. That's not ominous at all. Maybe there's something mysterious going on tonight. Shaking my head, I scoff. What am I saying? There's nothing special about today. I just happened to run into an old lady who's practically going senile, that's all. And yet my gaze is drawn back to the offering box. Is it possible that my wish could come true? What an enigmatic idea. Ethereal energy? Ethereal enigma? Yeah, I get it. Wishes do come true, wishes don't come true. Ethereal energy? Of course wishes don't just come true, but there's only one to prove that is merely the ramblings of a crazy person. I walk towards the offering box and drop a coin. I bow and clap my hands, keeping them pressed together, and then I close my eyes. Time to wish for something completely ridiculous and outlandish. Let's see if the ethereal energy is ready for this. This all feels insane anyway. I wish for a rich, beautiful princess to fall out of the sky. I hold my breath in anticipation, peeking my eyes open. Nothing happens. Of course nothing happened. This is proof that the woman is just spouting nonsense. Maybe she was lonely and looking for someone to talk to. Either way, there's no reason for me to stay any longer. As I step away from the operating bunks, I can't help but look around again. A part of me hopes that she'll just reappear and I can tell her that it didn't happen, just as I predicted. Still, I laugh. What a funny idea. A fast whooshing sound interrupts my thoughts. Strange. What could that be? I look up at the sky just in time for something to knock me flat on my back. Oof! My vision goes hazy as my head hits the ground. What just happened? I groan, just trying to move my limbs. I'm pretty sure we all know what fucking happened. I think it's Kira. Might be Kira or an entirely new person. It feels like there's something holding me down. Gingerly, I blink my eyes open. That's not it. Uh-oh. As the area refocuses into view, there's a girl with a long, light blonde hair sitting on top of me. Her clothes are unlike anything I recognize, reminding me of a fantasy character. Her eyes are squeaked shut just as she yelps. How do you even say that name with what? Blinking, she looks around her, carefully shaking in the shine.
Where am I?
Then that's what I want to know. Suddenly, she freezes. Her hands press down on my chest. She furrows her brows before her gaze meets my own. In a flash, her eyes narrow in anger.
What do you think you're doing?
Nothing, ma'am. What are you doing? Close my eyes so she can't see me. Oh, I like girl who takes charge. I want some answers. I like this answer. This is not how I envisioned my evening would go, but I can't say I'm not enjoying it. Her legs straddle my torso and her hands rest on my chest. This is a girl who knows exactly what she wants. Oh no. Falling on me was a bit extreme. She only needed to ask, but I certainly won't stand in the way of her getting what she wants. Whatever you like, girl.
What I'd like is an explanation at once.
Erilyn Dawn.
Who are you? What do you want with me?
She glances down at herself again.
And why have you put me in such a compromising position?
You put yourself in that position.
I most certainly did not.
There's nothing keeping you on top of me, and you haven't even been tempted to move. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm supposed to read these. Stifling a groan, I slowly get up as well. My back and head throb from the fall. Why did you follow me? She balks.
The better question is, why did you summon me?
Uh-oh. I don't even know who you are. She holds her head up high, hooking one hand on her hip.
You are in the presence of Princess Erilyn Dawn, Duchess of Velenor, 3rd heiress of Veldin.
Sure? I can do a long name too. She's not the only one who can tack on random titles to her name. Well, I am Shawnlings, firstborn of my kin name and attender of Hotaku High School, honorable resident of Matsukaze.
I know all places of Veldin. Matsukaze does not exist.
That's because Matsukaze isn't in Veldin.
Then where am I?
You're in Japan. Welcome! Enjoy your stay.
Japan? I've been kidnapped by a Japanite commoner?
Is that what you call it? Japanite? Japanese. But more importantly, this is not a kidnapping. Her eyes momentarily widen again before her scowl returns.
Then return me home at once.
I can't.
You must.
I don't know how you got here in the first place, and I definitely don't know how to get you back. Just do the thing again.
Well, if you won't do it, then I'll have to do it myself. Now, where is my scepter?
Once again, she glances around herself. Her eyes widen in a panic.
My scepter! Where is it?
Maybe you left it back at your palace, your highness. Her eyes flash again.
It never leaves my side.
Jeez, I didn't realize the scepter was so important. I always thought of it as a symbol of power and not something used outside of ceremonies. After combing through the immediate vicinity, she ends up being empty-handed.
Clearly my scepter is not here. Just use your cast to send me back.
My cast? What does that even mean? Besides, I still wouldn't know back to where.
Are you not listening? I am Princess Erilyn
Yeah,
Dawn, Duchess of
yeah, whatever. Repeating it doesn't help if I have no idea what you're saying.
You cannot dismiss Veldin simply because of your ignorance.
She keeps mentioning Veldin as if it's real. Could she really be from an entirely different place? How was she transported here? Was it really my wish? I can't wrap my head around all the questions I have. I don't know what's going on, but all this weird stuff happened right after I talked to that old woman. We need to go find her.
Stop making excuses.
excuses. There's no one here.
Because everyone is a ghost. Is this one of those prank shows? Someone's gonna jump out and be like, "Aha! We got you for making such a wild wish, asking for a princess."
So you did invoke black arts to transport me here. I knew it! A Japanite kidnapper
Yeah, black
after all.
arts. I guess just praying to God. I don't know. I'm not a kidnapper, and I didn't do black magic. I didn't think my wish would actually come true. She crosses her arms.
Clearly your fault I've been summoned here, which means it's your responsibility to get me back home.
Bruh. Okay, I'll just do what I did before.
Finally.
Here we go. I wish you would turn home. Nothing happens. Well, I tried. Well, that's all I can do. Later, bitch. Just leave. That's it.
Do it properly like you did the first time.
And that's basically what I did. I don't even know how it happened the first time.
Just try.
Fine. I close my eyes and think it was with all my might. Beads of sweet line what the fuck? But nothing happens. I open my eyes and frown. Evelyn crosses her arms, a concerned look on her face.
You didn't do this intentionally? You really don't know what happened?
I don't.
Well, then I suppose I can navigate.
She looks around her, but she seems lost. Her confident expression wavers for a moment, and then I catch a look in fear of uncertainty in her eyes. Everything must be so unfamiliar to her. Feeling sorry won't help. Yeah, no, I don't care. I understand that this is an unfortunate situation, but there's nothing I can do to send her back.
Then my first order of business will be to establish lodging for the night.
Good luck with that. I got some homework to do.
Does this place have any rooms?
No. I guess I'm being unfair. It's not her fault that she's stuck here in an unknown place, and no one else would believe her if she told them what happened. I should help her. You can stay with me and my family while we figure this out. She hesitates. Don't worry, my aunt, uncle, and cousin will understand.
I suppose that will do. Well, there's no alternative option present.
The sky is already dark by the time we set off the path towards home, so much for taking a shortcut. Since we'll be together for at least a day, you can call me Sean.
You may address me as Princess Erilyn Dawn, Duchess of Eleanor, third heiress of Veldon.
I'm gonna stick with Erilyn.
You dare not even address me by my title of princess?
Yeah, about that. There are a few things we need to go over. The first thing is that you can't go around declaring yourself a princess.
I can't help my birthright.
Yeah, but people think people will think you're crazy.
Japanites not know what a princess is?
Japanese, and of course we do.
Then I fail to see the problem.
The problem is we already have princesses from Japan.
So, I'm not claiming to be from Japan.
On second thought, I'll do all the talking. She shoots me a look, and then resumes her arrogant expression.
Perhaps that's best. Clearly there is a communication barrier between royalty and commoners.
Bruh. Why was I helping her again? Let's just get going back before it gets too dark. We fall silent as I lead us home. Erilyn continuously surveys her surroundings, her expression softening into curiosity. As we near the house, my steps start to slow. What am I going to tell my family? I need to come up with a story for why Erilyn needs to stay with us. I'm going to stop here because my fucking throat is a bit dry. It's because I'm cold. I don't know why. But we just kidnapped a girl from outer space or from another planet, and that was a good place to stop it, I guess. How do I save again? But yeah, I knew that this game was gonna have a little bit of like, what do you call, a little bit of a fantasy setting. I just didn't think it would be like this. I thought I would be the one being isekai, not her, but oh well. I guess that's it for. What the? No, save. Did it not save? But yeah, that'll be it for this part. Hopefully, you can start making a lot more often. I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like you're playing visual novels, and I don't want to force myself to. But I hope this was entertaining to you at least, and I'll see you in the next episode.